the engineering workforce are females. I picked up the data, and because the World Federation of Engineering Organizations is divided into 5 major regions, which are the Asia, Pacific, Europe, Arab, Africa, and the Americas, I segregated this data into the regions. And we can see on the screen that, in fact, most regions fall between the 20 to 30%. But something interestingly struck me when I was doing this research. I realized that there is no gender data that exists in engineering for approximately 27% of countries across the world. And I would like to do a quick dive, but before then, I want to show you how the data looks like. It's important to know that we need to do a lot of work through collaborative efforts by all regions to ensure that data in engineering educational gender segregated data is available that will drive interventions and initiatives to close the gender gap. Permit me to just explain to you, permit me to just draw your attention to some of the research that I did. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And when you look at the data that exists on the World Bank portal, you see that
you need to share again.
I need to share again. Okay. Let's see. Can you see the screen now? This is how the data looks like. And you realize that the area, which is the gray column, shows that there's no data available. When you look in some sections of Africa, some sections of Asia, some sections around the Russian Federation and all, I believe because of security reasons, some of this data is not available. But it is important for us to work together as a group to be able to provide the needed data for us to be able to address the gender issues. And so I will go back to the presentation, and please do let me know if you are able to see my screen again. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. And so, as we can all see, we need to work together to address the issues regarding gender statistics that is not available in over almost 27% of the world. And I will talk about sustained gender gaps, the impact of sustained gender gaps in engineering. Sustained gender gaps not only deprive the world of addressing engineering issues, but also has economic implications, resulting in a constant shortage of the required talents needed for the achievement of the SDGs. This affects economic growth as engineering teams are not diverse at all to bring about better and innovative ways of solving problems. We all know that engineers solve problems. This leads to an economy that remains stale and experiences little or no growth. Additionally, innovation and creativity is impacted by gender gap due to the lack of diverse perspectives, and this affects product design. There are products such as personal protective equipment, tools, smartphones that have had their share of designs which do not fit the use by females. The continuous gender gap has social and cultural consequences in the sense that it is reinforcing stereotypes, creating a constant environment that is not conducive for females to thrive in and contributes to broader gender inequality in engineering, education, and the workplace, which is influencing our career progression, pay equity, and leadership opportunities. Continuous gender gap issues not being addressed also has a very big impact on engineering education due to decreased enrollment in programs, engineering programs, and this is affecting the richness of the learning environment. Even when females enroll, the impact of the classroom dynamics due to dominant males can be very overwhelming for them. In the long term, especially as we are in the age of the use of AI and advanced technologies, the long-term effect of the continuous gender gap leads to missed opportunities for innovation, producing solutions that have narrow perspectives, incomprehensive solutions, and reduced innovation. Early health monitoring devices such as heart rate monitors and fitness trackers were primarily designed and tested on male subjects. As a result, these devices often fail to account for physiological differences in women, leading to less accurate readings and less effective health management for female users. Global competitiveness is also impacted by the continuous gender gap. For instance, countries with larger gender gaps in engineering may fall behind in global competitiveness due to lack of diverse talent in critical industries. The impact of the sustained gender gaps calls for immediate and urgent action to prevent long-term negative impacts on the engineering field and society at large. I will move into, having known the effect of these gender gaps, I will move into the challenges. What is preventing us from closing the gender gaps? Societal barriers, cultural barriers, institutional barriers are major concerns. So the barriers in female participation in engineering include societal barriers, which are gender stereotypes, which are often very widely held beliefs about the behaviors, norms, and characteristics of an individual based on their gender. Engineering is perceived, first of all, as a male-dominated field, with societal expectations that women should pursue careers in traditionally feminine areas. Early socialization often discourages girls from developing an interest in STEM. And this continues to reinforce the idea that engineering is not for them. Another societal barrier is the lack of role models. Engineering role models are just a few, and so are not available all over the media, education, and professional spaces. And this limits young girls' ability to envision themselves in such roles. This lack of representation produces a continuous cycle of low female participation. Bias and discrimination also results, is also a societal barrier. And actually, bias and discrimination causes women to face conscious and unconscious bias in academic and professional settings, which bring about lower expectations, reduce opportunities for them at all, and then many differential treatments that they pass through. In addition to this, discriminatory attitudes can deter women from entering or staying in the field. The second major barrier that limits female participation in engineering is cultural barriers, which presents itself in the form of cultural expectation and norms within the environment that females grow up in. For instance, in many cultures, there are expectations that women prioritize family roles over careers, particularly in fields that demand long hours and intense commitments like engineering, and then the STEM-related fields. Also, there is the cultural belief or notion that engineering is too difficult or unsuitable for women, therefore discouraging them from pursuing the career in the first place. Work-life balance is a very critical challenge for females in engineering. Engineering careers are often associated with demanding workloads and long hours, which can be very discouraging for women who are also expected to manage the majority of domestic responsibility. The lack of flexible work arrangements can make it so difficult for women to balance career and family life. There is also the perception of engineering culture. The prevailing culture in many engineering environments is often perceived as a very competitive, very aggressive, male-oriented, which can be so overwhelming and unwelcome to women. They feel that they are isolated or excluded in such environments, and it leads to lower retention rates. Most women leave the field. Institutional barriers exist. Traditional educational career may not be designed with inclusiveness in mind at all, often lacking content that appeals to or engages female students. Gender-based teaching methods where male students receive more encouragement or attention can alienate females from studying engineering. The lack of supportive networks, the absence of mentoring programs and networks that support women in engineering can leave female students and professionals without the guidance and encouragement they need to succeed. Networking opportunities are often male-dominated, making it harder for women to access important career resources. In some countries in the world, gender pay gap and career advancement is also an institutional barrier where the female engineers' pay is lower than their male counterparts, which can be demotivating and lead to lower job satisfaction. Limited opportunities also exist as institutional barriers, often due to biased promotion practices, can prevent women from reaching leadership positions. There is also this harassment and hostile work environments that also that exists both in the academic and the professional settings and can drive women out of the field completely. Institutions may lack adequate policies or support systems to address this hostile environment. In summary, these barriers are interrelated and often reinforce each other. And it's important that we address these barriers using a comprehensive approach that includes changing societal attitudes, changing cultural barriers, and establishing institutional systems to support female engineers. Now, having looked at the barriers, I would like to say that there is so much untapped potential that is required in the engineering field, most of which come naturally to females. Women bring unique perspectives and skills to engineering that can enhance creativity, innovation, and problem solving within the field. These include diverse problem solving approaches. Females are very empathetic. They have a holistic mindset and collaborate more in teams, which are very critical in addressing problems. In terms of innovation and creativity, women bring on board diverse perspectives, and something which males don't even think about or dream about is often brought up by females in diverse teams. Females often focus on sustainability and the social impact of engineering solutions. Leadership and management skills that fosters innovation can be readily found in females, including inclusive leadership, emotional intelligence, and paying attention to details. Females naturally tend to champion diversity, and because already they are in a field where they need to champion diversity. And then they present themselves as role models. Females have effective communication and interpersonal skills that fosters stakeholder engagement, improving complex problems. I would like to provide 2 examples of successful initiatives which the Women in Engineering Committee has embarked on. The first one is the Ghana Power Compact Internship and Mentoring Program, which I must say used a multifaceted approach to empower females or to prepare females. The program, I must say, was very successful. I was personally involved. This program happened in Ghana. and it included all stakeholders, including engineering, education, all stakeholders in engineering education. And it used a multifaceted approach where stakeholders, including coordinators, energy sector organizations, mentors who were female engineering practitioners were involved, interns, female engineering students who were interns, policymakers who involved the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Gender and Social Inclusion, and of course, the funding agencies. The funding agencies included the Millennium Challenge Corporation of USA and also the Millennium Development Authority. Each actor had its significant role to play, but there was collaboration between the team, and over 600 female engineering students across secondary technical universities benefited from this program. The objective of the program was to prepare females in STEM for power sector jobs. This was because earlier studies conducted as part of the pre-feasibility activities of the program highlighted the fact that energy sector organizations had a low representation of females in technical and leadership positions. It was because of this that the program was also done under the entire Compact 2 program, which was geared towards energy sector improvement. To address this, the program was instituted to engage all stakeholders involved in STEM education and energy sector companies. And I must say that the program presented a structure that benefited all stakeholders in various ways. And we had a beneficiary of the program indicate this. Looking back, that's one of the students, she said, looking back, I came in with no experience, less confidence, little or no knowledge about the importance of knowing my personality type and how to relate with people at the workplace. And when I came in with so much enthusiasm and willingness to learn, I took away a lot. From capacity building to field work to reflection workshop, I have enjoyed every bit of this program. The program established a pathway for continuous preparation of students for jobs in STEM to be continued by all stakeholders. The only challenge, however, is how it can be sustained with continuous funding, and the governments can take it up and also do so. The program also presented a publication, an e-book publication with a comprehensive report on the feedback and a toolkit that can guide similar programs. I'll move on to another initiative that has been instituted by the Federation of Women, for the Federation of African Engineering Organization, that is the Women in Engineering Committee, collaborating with the organization, working through the organization. And this initiative is geared towards early STEM exposure, which has been instituted at the African level by the Committee of Women in Engineering called the WIE Virtual Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics, that's STEAM competition, which targets females between the ages of 5 to 12 to engage their interest in STEAM. This initiative commenced in 2021, and WIE is currently implementing the 4th edition of this program. On the screen, you see flyers for all the 4 editions. You see a child who is from Ghana who won last year's competition and was presented with a cash award of $500. You'll be amazed at the impact of this competition. That is the impact that it is having on early learners. The major challenge is the lack of funding to support such a great initiative to address gender equality. Since I've showcased the flyers, I would move on to what can be done, having known the challenges, the barriers, what females bring on board, the two initiatives that have already happened or are occurring. Having heard all these things, we ask ourselves, what can be done to harness the potential of females in engineering education? The solution involves a partnership between educational institutions and industry to implement educational policies, government incentives, collaboration, and a number of reforms. I will talk about policy changes and then industry partnerships. In terms of policies in education, we are proposing from the committee, we are proposing a number of initiatives, and this includes STEM curriculum reforms. Government and educational institutions can work together to implement policies that make STEM subjects more engaging and accessible to female students from an early age. This could include introducing gender-sensitive teaching methods and materials. Also, scholarship programs that offer scholarships specifically for women in engineering can help reduce these financial barriers that they face and encourage more females to pursue engineering degrees. Also, quotas and targets can also be implemented where regions that are facing difficulties regarding gender gap can implement gender quotas in engineering programs to ensure at least a minimum representation of females, helping to balance the gender ratio over time. So you realize that with the figures that we looked at the beginning, if no countries are represented at all, then it becomes difficult for these interventions to be done. Workplace policies, equal opportunities, present equal opportunities as well, enforcing policies that mandate equal opportunities for females and so on. Now I'll just dwell on the industry partnerships, which is very, very critical. Mentorship. In educational institutions, mentorship and internship programs can partner, mentorship and industry can partner to establish mentorship and internship programs like the one I presented. And universities and schools will partner with educational institutions to create mentorship programs where female students are paired with professional female engineers, providing guidance and real-world experience. Sponsored competitions and workshops and hackathons, which the World Federation of Engineering Organization is currently implementing yearly, specifically designed to engage female students and showcase their talents. In Ghana here, we have a program that is an innovative challenge that is spearheaded by the Women in Engineering in conjunction with the female students in the institutions, in the universities. That has occurred, I think, over the last 3 years. Last year, I was personally involved in one of the innovative challenge. This year, we are also looking forward to that innovative challenge. Now, with regards to that curriculum development, industry experts can collaborate with educational institutions to develop or refine engineering curricula that align with industry trends and encourage females to participate in engineering. We also can collaborate in terms of research and innovative projects. We can collaborate with, or the industry can collaborate with academia to enter into partnerships that foster collaborative research projects where female students and researchers play leading roles, helping to increase their visibility and influence in the engineering field as well. Also, innovative grants where companies can offer grants for innovative projects that are led by female engineers, providing them with the resources and recognition needed to advance their careers. So in conclusion, I would like to say that in today's rapidly evolving world, the challenges we face require innovative solutions that can only be achieved through diverse perspectives and collaborative efforts. By harnessing the full potential of women in engineering education, we are not only bridging the gap, but we are actually unlocking a world of untapped creativity, innovation, and power solving problems. When we invest and support female engineers, we are investing in a future that is more inclusive, sustainable, and equitable for all. I have a number of references. The World Bank Gender Portal I showcased or presented earlier on. I also have a reference for the Ghana Power Compact Internship Program, and then the Women in Engineering Committee work as well. So I would like to thank you all, and I would like to say that when we empower women in engineering, we don't just build better structures, we build a better future for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my good friend. Very impressive again. Every time you try to inspire the women, inspire the young people. I'm very keen to get some question from the audience here. Can we open for question and answer? Anybody, you can
believe
just
there's one question in the chat.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, let me read the questions. Okay. As the chair of the World Women in Engineering Federation Committee, could you share your plans for expanding programs like the Ghana Power Compact Internship and Monitoring Program to other African countries? Specifically, how do you envision helping students in these countries benefit from similar opportunities? And what strategy might you employ to ensure the program success across diverse regions?
Okay, so this program occurred in Ghana. It was funded, I mentioned the funding agencies. As the Women in Engineering Committee of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, we have a strategic, we are implementing 4 strategic themes. One of the strategic themes is to build capacity, or the capacity of female engineers, and also improve the collection of gender segregated data. With that being implemented, we believe that we are working with a number of, or we are looking for funding to be able to increase such programs and expand it across the world. And so this platform, I believe, as we engage more and more people, will help us collaborate further to be able to address these issues. A program like the Ghana Power Compact program was very effective. A number of students were trained. Some of them have found themselves in very good energy sector jobs, but this was geared only towards the energy sector and needs to be expanded. We need everyone to come on board and all stakeholders to come on board to be able to implement such programs across the world.
Great. Another question from Sophia. What does the chair of Women in Engineering expect from the community of female in STEM advocates? Obviously, you can't do it alone.
Come again, I didn't understand that question. Yes, we can't do it alone. I agree. And so that is why we're working with. In WFEO, we are divided into all the regions. The Women in Engineering Committee is working with all the engineering institutions across the world who are member countries of WFEO. And if there is a country here that is not a member country of WFEO, you can obviously see that you are being left behind. And so we need to collaborate together as an institution covering the whole world, and we're working towards that. The World Federation of Engineering Organizations has a number of initiatives, yearly organizes programs, and we invite everyone on board to see how best we can collaborate to make this collaboration a success to address the gender gaps.
Madam, there are some congratulatory notes for you. Jen said, you did good, Enyonam. Alberta said, great presentation. Sophia mentioned very impressive presentations. Okay, I think I know you very well. You always ask for group photos. So before we end the section, can you open up all your cameras? We take a group photo before the next section. Can you open up your cameras? Yeah, I saw a friend here. 你们把那个照相打开 camera. Yeah. Open up your cameras. We need a group photo. You see, we have a forest. We are in the forest.
You know why? It's very early in the morning in Ghana, and most of the people, I wonder if they are ready for a group photo, but we can have the group photo.
Anybody? We have 46 people here. And I have done the recording. Later on, we have to write a news report on this. Yeah.
Thank you,
okay,
WIE, for this platform.
Yeah, you are my best friends. Anyway. Okay, any others? We have people from Ghana, Nigeria. Any others? We'll take a group photo before the next section. Can you open up your camera? The next section will be the last two presenters for the Best Presentation Award competition. So we are here to take the group photo before we end this section. Any others? Should be 46 people. Don't be shy. I think you have a lot of supporters from Ghana.
Yes.
Okay. Any others? Can you on your camera? We have a group photo before we move to the next section. Any others? Okay. Getting more and more. Okay, just take a photo. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, take another one. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you, my best friend. I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. Shuba. You should continue for the last two presentations. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Now we have the last two presenters. Next presenter is INTI from INTI International University. Paper entitled Promoting Sustainability in Academic Guidance, a Design Science Approach to Developing an Artificial Intelligence Agent for Education 5.0.